Calculators. I'm going to teach you really quickly how to simplify a fraction, because today you're going to have to simplify fractions after you've added them. So for example, let's say we have the fraction 3/6. I know and you know that 3/6 is actually equal to 1/2. So 1/2 is actually called the simplified fraction. And it's called the simplified fraction because it's simple. It's easier to understand. So let's think of our pizza example. We would rather say, can I have half of the pizza rather than 3/6 of the pizza. That's more difficult. You want it to be simple. So this is a simplified fraction. So today, when you're adding your fractions, you may end up with more difficult and tricky ones, and you have to simplify them to more simpler fractions. Okay? This one was easy because I know and you know that 3/6 is 1/2. So when they're trickier ones, you're going to use your fraction strips. So let's use this example on my fraction strips so I show you what I mean. Okay? Okay. So let's say we had our 3/6. So I'm going to count out 3/6. So 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to trace up, up, up until I hit one that's equivalent to it and more simple. So I'm going to go up, 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 up. Oh, there's one that's equivalent, 2/4. But I'm going to keep going to see if I can find a simpler one. So I'm going to keep going, going, going. And there it is. So 3/6 is equivalent to 1/2, and that is the simplified version of 3/6. Let's try a different one. Let's say you're given 4/10 plus 2/10, and you have to add the two together. And you already know that you leave the denominator the same, add the numerators, so 4 plus 2 is 6. Whoops. So 6/10. Now that's a tricky fraction. So what we could do is simplify that and make it easier. So let's use our fraction strips for that. So I'm going to find my tenths. I'm going to count out 6 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to go up and see if I can find one that's equivalent to it and more simple. So I'm going to go up, 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 up. It's not the 8s. It's not the 6. Oh, the 5ths are equivalent. I'm going to mark it and just keep going to make sure there isn't any more simpler ones. The 4ths aren't, the 3rds, and the 1/2. So it must be the 5ths. So 6/10 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 3/5. So I would rewrite this, and I kind of ran out of room there, but I would just rewrite it as equals 3/5, and that would be my final answer because it's the more simple one rather than 6/10. Let's try one more example. Let's say you have the problem 5/12 plus 5/12, and you know when it's a common denominator, you leave the denominator the same, add the numerators. 5 plus 5 is 10, so you have 10/12. Now you could leave it like that, and it is the correct answer, but that's a tricky fraction, and we want to simplify it, make it simple. So let's use our fraction strip. So 10/12. I'm going to find the 12ths on my fraction strips, and I'm going to count out 10 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then I'm going to go up and see if I find any that are equivalent to it and simpler. So here we go. Not the 10ths, not the 8ths. Oh, the 6s are. I'm going to mark that spot and keep going to see if there's any simpler ones. Not the 5ths, the 4ths, the 3rds, or the 1/2, so it must be the 6 is as simple as you can get. So how many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 10/12 is equal to 5/6. So I would rewrite my answer by showing that 10/12 is actually equal to 5/6. They represent the exact same amount, but this is the more simpler way of writing it. Just like when we had our original version, 1/2 is the more simple way of writing 3/6. So today when you're adding your fractions, you may come up with a tricky answer, and every time I want you to check with your fraction strips to see if you can come up with a more simpler fraction. Okay, I think that's it. Should be all set. Oh, one more thing. Today you're not going to have your plastic sheet to easily mark and go up, so you're just going to have to be really careful today. Make sure you go really slow and hold your fingers to mark spots. Eventually when I come back you'll be able to use the plastic sheets, but today you're going to have to be careful and use your fingers. You should be good to go.